Hi, this is Jonathan J, and welcome to this YouTube channel all about buying a business. But today we are talking about selling a business, and I want to give you an insight into the world of the business broker. This is like the estate agent of businesses where they are employed and quite often paid a lot of money to sell your business to someone else, to find a buyer and then manage the sale process. Now, what you're about to hear on this video is an audio recording that I had made by asking a friend to do a mystery shop of a broker who was selling a business for me a few years ago. And we've beeped out the names to protect the innocent, but you'll get the gist of it regardless of the names not being in there. Now, the strong voice that you hear is my friend, the mystery shopper, who's phoned up to inquire about my business. And the reason I asked him to record this call was because I wanted to hear how the broker was selling my company to this potential buyer. And I want you to bear in mind that this broker had been paid £25,000 to sell this business, plus a percentage of the final sale price. I'll stop the recording at various points to make some comments, and it'd be very interesting to find out what you think by commenting below this video as well. So let's get started.
Thank you for calling me.
It's all right, I'm with my colleague as well, who I think you've been speaking to by email.
No, I was talking to I think.
Oh yeah, I think it was originally and then yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Forgive me, I haven't got the documentation in front of me. Could you just give me an overview, so remind me what was in the IM, please?
Yeah, sure. So just a bit of background about the business. So the business was bought from the founders of about 5 or 6 years ago for about £15 million. Didn't look after the business properly and sort of let it.
So the first comment I want to make is that it didn't get off to a great start. What did it really? But then instead of starting their pitch to sell the business by talking about the strengths of the business, they let out a piece of information which, quite frankly, they shouldn't have shared. They let out the fact that this business was purchased by the current owners for £15 million just a few years earlier. And now they're going on to say that those owners let the business go off the rails a little bit.
They run down, brought in a management team who didn't do very much, weren't really looking after it like they were. It wasn't a priority for them as one of their portfolio companies. And then sort of Jonathan J, the current shareholder, bought it back from Sovereign for a much reduced fee earlier this year.
Now, hang on, what are they doing here? First of all, they've said how much the business was bought for a few years earlier, £15 million. Rather prefer they not to have said that. But then they've said that I then bought the business for a greatly reduced amount. So they're already diminishing the value of the business and saying how the business hadn't been looked after. I mean, all of this is absolutely irrelevant. What they should have done is started off by saying, this is an incredible business, amazing EBITDA, huge potential, all of those positive things, but already they're focusing on the negative, which is just crazy.
So I've just been scribbling down some questions as you've been talking there, Nick.
Yeah, sure.
So how many staff did you say they got?
How many staff?
Yeah.
I think it's about 20 at the moment.
Okay, and what's the split between sales staff and delivery staff?
There's only 2 sales staff at the moment, and I think about 10 delivery staff.
Okay, so what do the other 8 do?
Well, when I say delivery, I mean client delivery. There's also about 5 account managers.
And forgive me, I haven't got the paperwork in front of me. What are they doing a month? What are they bringing in a month for those 650 clients?
Can you say? Sorry, I'm just going to get the monthly schedule.
He doesn't know anything, does he? He really doesn't know. It sounds to me like he's looking at this business for the very first time when I know that he's been on this project for several weeks?
It out for you rather than give you annual amounts. If you bear with me 1 second. So monthly revenue is about, the first 3 months post-ownership revenue decreased because the existing management team knew that there was a transaction coming along and didn't do anything with their clients. So there was a little bit of churn in the first 3 months because every client...
Again, he's talking about negative stuff. I mean, there has been nothing positive in his conversation so far.
From a 3 month notice period. So it dropped from about 350 to about 300, and now it's sort of slowly increasing up to actuals for October. We're just above 300 in revenue a month.
Okay. You say the split is between SEO and pay-per-click. What's the? Do you know what the percentage split is?
If you just go back to that. Go back to this. Sorry. I can give you a. And obviously, I'm not probably doing it justice, so it might be better to speak directly.
I'm not really doing it justice. Yeah, there's something of an understatement. But look how he solves the problem of not doing it justice.
Shareholders, but I know that SEO is about 200.
I'm not sure if you caught that. He actually said, maybe it's better if you speak to the shareholders, i.e. me.
100 grand. PPC is about 25 grand, and then they've got this fast track, which is this new sort of revenue they brought in, and that's about 50 grand.
You said fast track. What is that fast track?
I'll just give you his exact words. 1 second. They're referring to it as an all-in-one bundle of marketing services sold at a fixed price. So it has things like web, video, email marketing, that sort of thing involved in it.
Okay. And you said he'd had an offer already. Can I ask what that offer is?
Yeah, it's a bit lower than he was expecting. He's not expecting, the 15 million that for clearly. Big about then, and he's not really, I'd say, expecting a multiple that's of the 2.5 million EBITDA, or if he is expecting multiple, it won't be sort of the standard industry multiple of 6 to 8 times, because that's...
Hang on, what on earth is going on here? So, first of all, they're, for some reason, they're trying to make out that there is a bargain to be had. Yeah, he's not expecting that much. He's not expecting the standard industry multiple of 6 to 8 times. This business has a very healthy EBITDA of 2.5 million. Why shouldn't I be expecting a standard industry multiple? I mean, it is absolutely bizarre how they are talking it down.
That's sort of unrealistic based on the fact that...
Hang on, what do you mean unrealistic? It is not the broker's job to tell the buyer what's realistic and what's unrealistic.
It's not proven. It was only been proven for a couple of months.
Oh, hang on. They're just now they're telling this potential buyer that the 2.5 million of annual EBITDA isn't proven for long enough. This might not matter to a buyer. It might not make any difference to a buyer who has a vision of the future where they can maintain this level of EBITDA. I mean, it is crazy to me how awful this is.
The offer that came in was in sort of it was sort of like £2 million.
Oh, and now they've made up this number that I received an offer of £2 million, which I hadn't. So immediately they're pegging it low, so I should be happy with anything over 2 million. That's what they're saying.
So I think he's expecting something a bit higher than that.
Okay, so
he's not unreasonable and not expecting a sort of significant amount.
So just
hang on. They keep saying I'm not unreasonable. I'm not expecting a high amount. What are they doing? These people are not selling it. They're trying to offload the business rather than sell it.
just so I can get this clear in my head, what would you think would be an acceptable offer for him?
I mean, it's very difficult to say. We've had a lot of people interested, so I don't want to give you a number, but I think definitely single figures and probably mid-range of the single figures.
So he's saying definitely single figures, meaning millions, and mid-range. Well, that's like 5, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't take a genius to work out what he's. So I don't want to say numbers, but he is effectively saying numbers, isn't he?
Would be something that's definitely sensible, I would suggest.
By single figures, do you mean a multiple in single figures?
No, I mean the value of the business.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, pleasure. And good to speak to you, and let us know when works for you, and if you want to follow up any further.
Will do. Thanks very much.
All right.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
That was a car crash. And that's what you get when you pay £25,000 to an established firm with, to be fair, a decent reputation, more sort of corporate finance than broker. I use the word broker because I think if you're watching this, you know what that means, but more sort of on the corporate finance level. They didn't at any point actually sell this business. All they did was really signal that a bargain was to be had, and all it had to be was to be a figure that was pitched above this fictitious offer that I had received. The outcome of hearing that tape was to fire the company. And interestingly, when I told this guy's boss that we had done a mystery shop, which he found incredibly offensive, of course, doesn't want anyone to know how bad his staff are, and I said, look, I've listened to the audio, and he was doing this and this, and I said about the audio 3 times during my phone conversation with him, and at no point did he say, you know what, do you think you could send that to me just so I can hear this for myself? Because if that's what's happening, didn't say that. You know why? He was probably sitting in the room with him. He knew exactly what was said. He didn't need to listen to the audio to know what was said. He knew exactly what was said. I mean, that was atrocious. And that's what you get for £25,000 these days. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got a comment of your own, then please make it in the comments below this video.